Hi, I'm Alex, and today we will be talking about Native Instrument product universe. So many of these products, especially instruments libraries, can be purchased as bundles, which means nice savings. But when it comes to savings, nothing can beat the complete bundles. So Complete has been around from 2003, and it was a single tier product in the very beginning, and until the 8th installment, Complete 8, it still was a one tier product when the Complete Ultimate tier was added. So another tier was added in 2016 with the release of Complete 11, and it was called Complete Select, so which is an entry tier. And lastly, in 2018, we saw Complete Ultimate Collector's Edition as the 4th tier. So what is the Complete in general? Well, actually it's a collection of products that are sold with huge discount, like up to 85% in total. Current prices are the following. So the Complete Select costs $199, the Complete goes for $600, Complete Ultimate costs $1,200, and Complete Ultimate Collector's Edition costs $1,600. So tiers can be upgraded for the cost of difference between the tiers. It is also worth mentioning that total cost of products included would look like this: $1,100 for Complete Select, $5,200 for Complete, $11,000 for Complete Ultimate, and almost $13,000 for Complete Ultimate Collector's Edition. So I've made a chart to show how these numbers look like in comparison, and it seems like Complete Select's price is absolutely on par with its share in total cost of the products. So Complete looks like a very rational investment. Complete Ultimate looks a bit less effective but still good, and Complete Ultimate Collector's Edition doesn't look attractive at all. But is it so? So Complete Select is an entry tier, and we get a few products from different categories. Probably the biggest selling point here is Massive, which costs more than half of the price of a bundle, and you also get a nice collection of pianos, but honestly that's not a no-brainer here. That's why the only real reason to get Select is just because you can save on upgrades later, especially during sales time. Now the second tier, Complete, is big. With this package we get all 8 key standalone products. So we get AB Synth, we get FM8, Massive, Massive X, Reactor, Contact, battery, and guitar rig on top of that. So none of these cost less than $149 if purchased separately, and the whole package costs just as much as Reactor and Contact combined. But we also get a lot of expansions for Reactor, even more pianos, and guitar rig comes with all 3 expansions. There are also few more things included, but just this is enough to call Complete a must-have. The third tier, Complete Ultimate, is not for everyone. According to product lists, it is aimed at producers who either make cinematic scores, and for that reason Complete Ultimate includes almost all libraries from Cinematic Group, or those who don't really have enough plugins to work with. You also get the rest of instrument libraries, but it's a question like whether you really need 2 more pianos in addition to those 10 you already have. Finally, the 4th tier, Complete Ultimate Collector's Edition, is even more exclusive. Only 2 groups of producers clearly benefit from it: the beatmakers, because there are 30 more machine expansions in this package, and cinematic score producers, because the biggest orchestral library here gets the biggest upgrade, and nothing else is included. And before we come to the final part of the video, I'd like to mention some cheaper ways of getting into Complete. So first, if you buy some Native Instruments hardware like the lowest priced keys or machine or any audio interface, you'll be granted $100 off Complete Select, which makes it $99 instead of $199. And mind that during sales even those $99 will be halved. And if you opt for more pricey keys or machine devices, you will get Complete Select for free, which is the second option. So, are there any downsides of Complete? Well, yes, it can be that good, right? So, first of all, you can't sell or transfer licenses of individual products that come with the package. So it goes all or nothing. Second, Complete is good when you can wait. The reason is because the list of the products that are included into this or that installment of Complete doesn't change over time. And everything that was released after the last installment may be included into the next installment, or maybe not. And you can see now the titles that aren't featured in any tier of Complete 12 and how much that costs in total. If you can wait, you just wait and buy an upgrade to your installment with all that's missing at a very sweet price. But if you can't wait, well, in the worst case, you buy everything twice. So first time is when it is released, and second time is when a new installment of Complete is released to the market and you are upgrading. And the third thing, actually even Complete Ultimate Collector's Edition doesn't have everything that was released prior to its own release on the market. So there's not so much left, and we're talking about 11 expansions that didn't find home in any tier of Complete. You can see them now on screen, and just keep in mind that the oldest of these expansions were out there since 2011 and they haven't been included in Complete 8, Complete 9, Complete 10, Complete 11, Complete 12. And I seriously doubt they will be included in Complete 13 as well, but who knows? So hopefully now you won't get lost in the maze of Native Instruments products, and if you decide to opt in, you'll know where and how to find your purchases. So I guess this video was lengthy enough, and so it's time to say goodbye and see you in next video.